So today we're gonna talk about the enlightened paradigm, and what this means is, just an evolved way of viewing the world and a more enlightened way than what the rest of the world views the world. So what we'll be covering: the importance of mindset, the invisible dark enemy, your new paradigm on worldview, facing the music, universal law of action and reaction, cause and effect, becoming a customer you want to attract, how you do one thing is how you do everything, learning to see again, what's good and bad, Zen paradox and balancing of poles, Pareto principles, and prioritization of tasks, and ascending your current identity. So the importance of mindset. Material and financial success, this is what I realized after mentoring so many people. When you're first starting out, especially when you're first starting out, is 50% tactics and 50% mental mindset. And sometimes I'll argue, it's even more than that. It's like 80% mental and 20% tactics, Because the same people can experience the same information, but one can experience tremendous success, the other can experience like nothing, the total opposite. And that's why Olympic, and World Championship, especially athletes have peak performance coach, to help with their mindset that exists, Because business is just like a sport, which is also a mental game. I attended this conference where, the number one squash player in the world, she shared that, everyone at the highest of levels, everyone has the same sort of skill set, tactics and stuff. But what really sets people apart is the mental game, like when you're tired, when you're exhausted, how do you motivate yourself? Discipline, the inner talk, the inner game that goes within your 2 ears, And the most successful people in the world have a whole new different level of thinking and paradigm worldview, Like you see a lot of billionaires and stuff, how they view the world is totally different from a normal everyday person, For example, even Steve Jobs, his motto was think different. When people were trying to add all the complex, crazy features to all these new gadgets and devices, Steve Jobs has a contrarian opposite view on how can he remove as much as possible until it's as simple as possible, And that's why you see, the iPhone, the iPad, it has minimal to no buttons, And even he said the microwave should only have like one button, which was like increasing the temperature or something. So the same circumstance can happen to two people, and those two people have two totally different reactions. For example, the same sort of bad things or like car accident can happen to two people, but how two people react can be totally different. So what this proves to us is that it's not what happened to us, but how we react and how we view things that matter, That's the difference. Example of perspectives, you can see everyone viewing the same elephant, but some say it's a fan, some say it's a spear, wall, rope, tree, snake. So it's all about perspective. So the invisible dark enemy that haunts you every single day. So wherever you are in life right now, whether it might or might not be your doing, the only person to blame is yourself. Because the moment we blame something else or someone else, we're giving up control to make a change. Only when we accept that everything is our responsibility in doing, do we give ourselves, the power back to transform our current situation. So it's factually true, that there are external forces outside our control that happen to us. But the reason why we don't want to blame something else and we want to take full responsibility is so that it gives us the power back, so that we can look retrospectively in the past, what could we have done better, and in the future, what can we do, to make things better in the future. For example, let's say, somebody gets robbed in the streets, rather than blaming, why are these people so cruel, why are they so evil, we gotta take responsibility and ask ourselves, I should have known better that at nighttime or midnight I shouldn't go out, and when I visit a new country, I should research like which are the streets that I shouldn't even dwell in, that I might get robbed. And also, why didn't I learn self-defense, to defend myself? So that's an example of something that happens outside our control, but we still gotta take full responsibility to it. So it's not your country, your government, your age, your family, your friends, background, upbringing, personality, race, religion, skin color, self-doubts, insecurities, and fears. It's all you, And while it's true that, there's discrimination that happens, due to some factors and stuff. But there's no point in blaming, this is the world, there's no point in saying, oh, why is the world so unfair and stuff. It's just the way it is. We can either be crying over it, or we can, see how we can do and make a change to it. And the invisible dark enemy you have to overcome is you, it's all yourself. You must learn to accept 100% full responsibility for everything, no matter what, not because it's totally your fault, but because it gives you the power to make a difference in your life. So the person you are right now is not going to be the same person you will become when you achieve your desired dream outcome. You see all these, billionaires, millionaires, super successful athletes. I can guarantee you that 10, 20 years ago when he first started out in their career, who they are when he first started out on right now is two totally unrecognizable people, the way they act, the way they dress, the way they talk, their confidence, their character, the way they view their life, the way they view the world, the information, the mental models they have, everything's totally different, So alternatively, how we can apply, so knowing that this is true, rather than us, waiting 10, 20 years for this to happen to us, and for us to, experience like financial success in order to change as a person, we can accelerate and make this as a catalyst by doing the opposite. As you can see over here, alternatively, for you to achieve your desired dream outcome, you have to think and act like your future self first. So rather than waiting for 10, 20 years to pass by and hopefully we change, we take that future successful self of ourselves and version and put it to our present self, and that's how we accelerate our speed of success. And this is a really profound quote, going off a side tangent over here, that just talks about the, importance of mindset, mental, and our mind, Anthony de Mello, this very wise priest, he said this: what's the earthly use of putting a man on the moon when we cannot live on the earth? What he means, as I interpret this, is, we're trying to make all these technological advances, sending people to, space, Mars, doing all this. But the very fundamental basic thing on what goes between the four walls of our ears, our mind, most people can't even live with ourselves, like we go through depression, like suicidal thoughts. People just, they don't know how to control their mind and how to really live with themselves, internally. And then now, wise quote that he says as well: wisdom tends to grow in proportion to one's awareness of one's ignorance. So this is the Dunning-Kruger effect, that the more we know, so the more we gain knowledge and know, the more that we know that we don't know, So your new paradigm on worldview. Society has a flawed thinking that, we as people are static in our thinking and beliefs, whereas the masses of the world are extremely open-minded and fluid in their thinking, ready to change their minds when presented with new undeniable facts, no matter how much it may contradict their currently deeply held beliefs. So it doesn't matter that, you have believed something to be true for the rest of your life. When you're presented with new undeniable facts that this is the new truth, you must adapt and not be stuck in your old ways, For example, like, last time there were studies that say, certain foods were unhealthy, certain foods were healthy. Then when proper research came out that shows the opposite fact, we can't live in denial, So that's an example. Another thing is, you're born this way, it runs in your family, you're just like your father, your mom, you're God-gifted, you're talented, you're born talented, be yourself, don't forget who you are, stay authentic, don't change, this is who you are, this is how you've been, you've always been this way, stick to your roots, stop pretending to be someone else you're not. These are all poison viruses to your mind and anchors you and holds you back from who you are becoming, which is your future self. So the real question is not who you are right now, who you have been the rest of your life up to this point in time. The only question is, who are you becoming and who do you want to become, Your current self-identity is just the byproduct of all your accumulated thoughts, beliefs, choices, and actions and experiences in life to this point in time. It's a mere illusion of your past stories and history of life. But you can create your new self-identity on who you want to become by installing new thoughts, belief systems, and better choices and better actions, and experience a whole new world, you know? And you can be good at anything you set your mind to it, and you can in most circumstances be whoever you want to be. So, facing the music. Most adults have to learn through massive pain because, you know, they're too stubborn, close-minded. This is facts, you know. This is biological facts that the older we grow, especially past the age of 25, the neuroplasticity in our head becomes very fixed, you know. It means the older we grow, the harder it is for us to change. And that's why you see a lot of, you know, the older someone gets, the harder it is that they're so stuck in their ways, you know. And that's not what we want to be, you know. For example, you know, eating healthy, not smoking, not gambling your money, you know, living in denial and delusion is a guaranteed way to be, you know, to live an unhappy and unfulfilled life where, you know, nothing seems to go your way. And living in denial is not seeing reality and the world for what it really is, but how we think, how we want the world to be, you know, in our own delusional heads. So we got to stop lying to ourselves, stop running away from pain, problems, negative thoughts, anxiety, fear, because they are all there to teach you something and help you improve to get out of your current situation. So rather than being like the rest of the world where, you know, adults gotta learn through massive pain that, like, oh, I put my hand in the stove, it's hot, I burn myself, oh, I'm not gonna do that next time, you know. Smart people learn from other people's mistakes, you know, and other people's wisdom and knowledge, you know, rather than us having to go through trial and error. So don't, you know, use drinking, drugs, distractions, you know, Netflix, whatever to avoid and never solve the root problems of your life. You must face the music, face the root cause head on and fix it for good, you know? No matter how nasty it is. You know, it's like cleaning like a dirty mess, you know, it's not pleasurable, but we must do it. So most of us are fine questioning our current beliefs, except the ones held most sacred and closest to us for the longest of time. So you gotta ask ourselves, you know, what do you believe that's true that, you know, maybe it's not true, you know? And we're gonna touch on this on our topic as well. This is called probabilistic thinking. So normal people have what I call absolute thinking, you know, it's yes or no, right or wrong. But probabilistic thinking is to what degree can this be potentially right or wrong, you know? For example, if you see a news on social media, like, rather than immediately categorizing, oh, this is fake news, or you see like a gossip rumor about somebody, rather than saying like, oh, this is fake, or oh, this is real, you know, this person's so bad, this person, you know, is good, whatever. Probabilistic thinking is to our head, you know, given these facts, maybe like 70% of this could be true, 30% of this might not be true, you know? And until I explore this deeper, I'm not gonna have a fixed conclusion in my head. So that's a totally different way of thinking and viewing the world compared to, you know, the rest of the world. So the ones that we're too afraid to question, and we gotta remember that, you know, a mind filled with conclusions in our head has no room for growth and expansion. So we shouldn't have conclusions, you know, too much conclusions in our head, and only that can we be nimble and flexible to, you know, question our beliefs and adapt according to the facts given. So this, even 2,000 years ago or older than that, you know, even Buddha said that, you know, just as gold is burned, cut and rubbed, examine my words carefully and do not accept them simply out of respect. So this is why he told the disciples that, hey, you know, this is my words and stuff, but don't take it at surface level, but really examine it thoroughly, you know? And that's what we got to do. We shouldn't just simply, you know, take things that people say at face value, but really examine, you know, what it really means. And this is called critical thinking. So the universal law of action and reaction, cause and effect, you know, Isaac Newton's third law of action and reaction, to every reaction that's always an opposite and equal, you know, reaction. So what this means is, if you don't want to be cheated in life and business, then don't cheat other people, you know? If you don't want to be lied to, do not lie to other people. If you don't want to, you know, want to be taken advantage of by others in business, then don't take advantage of people in the first place. If you don't want to be surrounded with bad intentioned people who keep lying to your face, then we got to reform ourselves and have good pure intentions in our heart and be honest in telling the truth to people. If you don't want bad things to happen in our life, then don't do bad things and negative things to other people. If you have the fear of being judged and criticized by people, then stop judging and criticizing other people. If you don't be surrounded with narcissistic, high ego people, then drop our ego and learn to be sympathetic, empathetic, kind, and compassionate toward others. If you want to feel happy, then spread happiness to others. If you want to create a better life for yourself, then create a better life for others. You want to create good luck in yourself, then create good luck for other people. You don't want, people to not be jealous and envious of you, then don't be jealous and envious of other people. If you want to be surrounded with good, well-intentioned people, then be good and well-intentioned yourself. If you want to be treated well, respected, then you got to be kind, humble, respectful, friendly, and good to, whoever you meet in life, no matter their title, position, income, background, race, religion. If you want people to say good things and not gossip behind your back, then don't simply speak bad about other people, but praise them behind their backs, If you want people to cheer, support, celebrate, and be happy for your success, then you should do the same for others beforehand. Health, wealth, love, happiness are all cause and effect to you, If you want to be healthy, then you gotta sleep early, eat healthily, exercise. If you want more money, then work hard on the right things, learn, about how money works. You want more happiness and fulfillment, then you gotta learn, there are books on happiness, there are a lot of books and knowledge and videos about this, then you gotta learn about this topic better, If you want more love and relationships, then, you gotta make friends, date, have a good family life, work, and all that. Even if you don't believe in spiritual karma, physical karma is real, And I mean, like, physical karma is just like cause and effect. If you do bad things to other people would reciprocate and do bad things to you, You do good things to other people, they reciprocate and do good things to you. That's just a human bias. And if you're a bad person, good people will be repelled from you, And you only have other bad people who don't mind being in your life because they are no different than you, And they don't see your bad behavior as bad, and that's why they don't mind sticking around with you. Thus, you'll be consuming your own poison, and we get what we give out, and we get what we deserve. And going back to the previous slide, that's the golden rule, which is, do not do to others what you wish to not be done upon yourself, So don't do to other people what you don't want it to be done to you. And the platinum rule by the COO of Facebook, Sheryl Sandberg, treat other people how they want to be treated, So if you truly learn how to become a good person, other good people who are honest, kind, respectful, friendly, and not greedy, with high integrity, would want to be in your life and let you in their social circle of other good people. And my biggest magic secret to success was learning how to have a conscious, more pure intention and wanting to truly become a, good human being and, not wrong others and truly make the world a better place. And, just having this good intention and, then good things would come without you even asking, to serve a higher altruistic purpose, not a self-centered materialistic gain, You really live, for other people, for the world, to make this world a better place. Good things will come to you rather than having a, selfish, I just want to do this because I just want to look cool, I just want to be rich, And I'm by no means perfect, but the most important thing is our conscious effort, No one in this world is perfect, But it's being conscious of this and taking a conscious effort and just being more aware and intentional in improving ourselves that makes, a world of difference. So becoming the customer that you want to attract. Pay your vendors, your merchants, your whoever that you pay on time, your bills, your electricity, treat them like you're, the best customer. Be honest and transparent with people that you pay. Don't be wishy-washy or mislead people. If you don't want to have a bad reputation and lose customers from it, then don't simply, tarnish other people's reputation. Tip generously, give positive feedback, testimonials, say thank you. Be thankful, be grateful to your actions, not just words. If you don't want to be sued and lose lots of money, then don't simply sue or threaten to sue other people, and cause other people lose a lot of their own money. And never do unto other people what you do not want to be done to yourself, That's the golden rule. And treat people the way they want to be treated. The platinum rule by the CEO of Facebook, as I shared just now, can see as how the magnets are. You attract who you are, and that's why you see, like, in dating, a lot of people attract a similar type of person to them. If somebody is narcissistic, materialistic and stuff, then a lot of times you'll attract the very same person of the opposite sex. So next is, how you do one thing is how you do everything. The pattern of someone's existence is widespread throughout everything they do in life. It's a microcosm that exposes the pattern of their whole being. If someone is unhealthy in one area of life, it shows in all areas of their life. If someone is not respectful of people's time and is always late for an appointment, they are late for everything in life. If someone is bad towards someone else, they are usually bad towards everyone they come across in life, and thus bad things come around and bite them. So this is a very true fact that I've learned, and there's a lot of articles, research about this. If someone is a bad person, meaning if someone treats you bad and you see this person that treats you a certain way and stuff, they're not a good person, you can be 99% sure that you're not the only one that they've done that to. They've probably done that to everyone else, and just so happen you're there to experience that. So next is dedicating your life to excellence. The state of your surroundings are usually the state of mind. So make sure your surroundings is clean, tidy. If you want your business to thrive, make sure your personal life is in check. Eat healthily, sleep well, exercise. Make sure your family is, life is not full of conflict or chaotic. There's a typo. It should say not filled with conflict or chaotic. Now learn to confront the demons that's staring at you in the mirror. Stop avoiding it, fix it, so that you can create the life that you want. So learning to see again. There's a wise saying, that the eyes are useless when the mind is blind. What this means is, if our mind is cloudy, we can't see the world for what it is, there's no point of us having sight, because we can't even view the world for what it is. We're living in a delusional state of mind. So our minds cannot tell the difference between what's real and what's not, and that's why horror movies are so scary, and that's why studies have shown that visualization and imagination are incredibly powerful. If you ever thought of a positive memory, positive emotions would come flooding in. Vice versa, think of negative memories and experiences, and negative emotions will come in. And some people's minds are so easily penetratable. When they are told that they're not good at math, or they never amount to something else, anything, they grow up with this limiting belief that's shackling them for the rest of their life. And that's, very sad to see, because, some people are so easily manipulated that when you criticize them, when you say bad things to them, they just accept it, and they accept those things that which aren't true. So that's why we gotta really take care of our minds and make it really powerful, because it's the only thing that we have. It's the most powerful asset that we have. And studies have shown that 90% of our daily thoughts are repetitive, so most people let a negative comment about them seep into their heads and keep replaying over and over for the rest of their life until it cements deeply in their subconscious. And that's very dangerous. And that's why you gotta intercept any negative thoughts that slowly goes from your conscious mind to your subconscious, so it doesn't affect the rest of our life. Because they said that like majority of our actions on a daily basis, it's based on subconscious. And that's why we gotta make sure that we don't let things go to our subconscious mind. So whatever positive or negative thoughts and belief patterns we install into our minds repeatedly, that would slowly turn to reality. If you want a positive, financially successful reality, you gotta install positive thoughts in your mind. That you're capable, that you're enough, that you can do this. Other people are not special. You can do this as well. And never ever conform to other people's opinions. So this is a great story, the man and a boy and a donkey. You might not or might not have seen this story before, but let's go from the left to the right. So there was a father, a son going to the market with a donkey, and as they were walking, people were criticizing them like, you have a donkey, like, why don't you ride on it, why are you so foolish? So they did that. They rode on a donkey, then they went to the next village, and while the father and son was riding on a donkey, you're criticizing the father and son, like, as you can see over here, you can see, look at these two cruel people riding on the donkey that's so heavy, So the father felt bad, got off the donkey, and let the son ride on the donkey. Then he went to the next village, and people criticizing, oh, this boy is so unfilial, doesn't care and respect his father. So the boy got off the donkey and let the father ride the donkey. Then he went to the next village. Then he criticized, look at this selfish father who rides a donkey and doesn't let his son ride a donkey, And at the end, both the boy and the father were carrying the donkey. Then you go to the next village, and people saying, these people are so stupid, like, they're not riding a donkey, and they are, not making use of it. So the point of this story is you cannot please people, especially in a world where there's 8 billion people, 7 billion people, where everyone thinks differently and stuff, so many different perspectives. You gotta understand that. Do not conform or do not care about other people's opinions, Unless it's based on merit and truth, but you cannot please everybody. So next is what's good or what's bad. So it could be good or bad. This is another really interesting story. You can see over here that once lived a poor farmer who lived in a poor village, and this farmer was considered very rich and fortunate because he owned a horse. But one day, the horse ran away, and the neighbor said, I'm sorry for your misfortune. But the farmer said, I don't know, it could be good, it could be bad. Several days later, the horse returned with 6 new horses. Then the neighbor said, oh, congratulations, this is such a good thing that happened to you. The farmer said, I don't know, it could be good, it could be bad. Sometime later, the farmer's son went riding on one of the new horses, and he fell off and broke his leg and arm. And the neighbor said, oh, I'm sorry for your bad luck, But the farmer said, I don't know if it's good or bad. A year later, a fierce war broke out between the farmer's country and the neighboring country, and many men were conscripted and drafted to the army. And when the army came to draft the farmer's son, they found out that he was disabled and injured, and he couldn't do the military. So this story goes to show that we do not know what's good or what's bad, and only time would tell. So it's important to not have, conclusions in our head. Just because something on the surface levels might seem bad, it could actually be a good thing that happened to us, So when something on the surface level that's bad happened to us, it might actually be good, if not the best thing that could ever happen to us. Or maybe it's quote-unquote bad, but we can use and turn that mess into our message. Like, for example, I'm on the board of advisors for a childhood cancer foundation. So, it's not good, like a lot of, kids having cancer. Like, how can you see the bright side in that, Yeah, like some things in our life, like maybe there's no good out of it, but maybe it's just either what we deserve, based on if you believe in karma or past karma, or maybe our current life, that we do bad things to other people, it's coming back to us, or maybe it's telling us to turn our mess to our message. So the foundation I'm an advisor to, childhood kids with cancer, they use and created a not-for-profit initiative to help other kids with cancer, So you can see that's how you can turn your mess into your message and help other people. So the Zen paradox and balancing of poles. If you want to live a happy and fulfilling life, become a better human being, and making the world a better place, you must learn the art of achieving the harmony of perfect balance. Some people go to extreme, so there's science, there's religion. The truth can be the both of them combined, not just one or the other. Materialistic, spiritual, some people is too materialistic, some people they're total opposite, but we can be both, The mind, the body, some people put too much focus on the body, some people put too much focus on the mind, but the truth is in between. Mindset, tactics when you're first starting out, but both are equally as important. Being patient, being impatient. You can be patient about your long-term goals, but you can be impatient with the daily, execution of your tasks that you take on a daily basis. Unsure versus assertive. You can be unsure on topics that you're not certain about, but you can be assertive on things that, you're confident and about. Humble, confident. You can be humble, when the situation's right, and confident when you need to be confident. Empathetic, towards others, and tough love. Sometimes if you're a parent, you gotta show tough love to the people you love, otherwise they wouldn't learn. So it's not one or the other, but it can be both. Not judging other people, and objective assessment. What this means is, when let's say we come across someone, somebody with tattoos over their face and stuff, rather than judging them or how somebody dresses, the way they look, rather than judging somebody oh, this is this kind of person, we gotta learn to not simply judge people, because we never know the truth, and what we are chasing here is the truth. We're not trying to live in our delusional world. The truth would only be uncovered when we know the truth, and not just by looking at at the surface level. But you gotta balance that with objective assessment. Now, they say the best predictor of future behavior is past behavior. So let's say you meet somebody who has a criminal record, who has a record of cheating other people, lying, stealing. To a high probability that they might repeat the same pattern of behavior. It's very hard for people to change of a certain age. So we can balance, the time where we know sometimes we don't judge people, but sometimes we gotta also learn how to objectively assess people to protect ourselves. Introvert, extrovert. If we can balance when to be introverted, sometimes you gotta be alone, do the boring work by yourself, not be distracted by people. And the opposite is, sometimes when you're out networking with people, you gotta learn how to, mingle, extrovert, be extroverted, and how to network and connect with other people. Emotions, intuition versus logic. You can use both. You can use emotion to propel you to, take action, and use, your logical mind to make decisions. So it can be both, not one or the other. And this is a really powerful, wise quote. The test of a first-rate intelligence is the ability to hold two opposite ideas in the mind at the same time and still retain the ability to function. One should, for example, be able to see that things are hopeless, yet be determined to make them otherwise. This is very profound. And this concludes everything I said, For example, there's a saying that there's something that you can learn out of everybody, and that's true, every single person you meet, you can learn something out of them. But there's also another saying that if you wanna be successful, you learn from the top, don't learn from everyday normal people. So both might seem contradicting, but both are truth in itself. Let's say you want to learn how to be financially successful, go straight from the top, But let's say you're in a situation, where you're just meeting normal people, there's something you can learn from other people. Doesn't mean oh, you're not a millionaire, you're not a billionaire, I would never listen to you, That's not the case. So Pareto principle and prioritization of tasks. Pareto principle states that about 80% of our results come from 20% of our action. And this is true with a lot of things in life, There are many examples of this. And this was, concluded when a researcher notice that like 20% of the people in this town owns like 80% of the wealth, and there's a lot of examples of this which is really true, like the world, well, like 80% water, 20% land, and there's a lot of truth to this. And this is a really powerful mental model we got to keep in mind, that hey, at any given point in time, with a lot of things, a lot of situation and circumstances, 20% of the things controls, drives, or makes the 80%, and vice versa, So the Eisenhower time matrix, and this is very important as well. You can see these two plays to each other. The Eisenhower matrix, so every single day, especially when you progress in life, you notice that every day you have like an infinite, unlimited things to do, but this matrix tells us exactly what to do every single day. So you have urgent and not urgent tasks, and your important and not important tasks. Every single day when you wake up, complete your most urgent and most important tasks, the tasks with deadlines or consequences, and it's really important. Once you're done with your urgent and important tasks, then only you move on to either the not urgent but important task. Means the task is important, but you don't need to do it by a certain deadline. No, you can schedule it, and also the task which is urgent but not important, task that must get done but doesn't require, like it's not super important. So once you're finished with the urgent important task, then only you move on to the not urgent or important, or the not important or urgent task. And finally, the not urgent, not important task, that's something you can delegate, or you can, put it to the back burner and do it in the future. So, ascending your current identity. Redefining yourself, Most people face an identity crisis when they're going outside their comfort zone and trying to achieve things that they've never done before, You must learn to observe yourself as a third-party observer and use your mind to get your body to do whatever you need to do, and not the opposite. Your body should be the slave to your mind, not your mind's the slave to your body. For example, let's say, we walk across the street and there's a very delicious hot dog McDonald's stand, and we know that processed food isn't good for us, but our body can't control it, and our mind is a slave to our body. But no, you gotta do the opposite. You gotta view yourself as a third-party observer, and your body gotta be a slave to your mind. Your mind controls whatever your body want to do. Let's say you don't want to wake up, you snooze the alarm clock. That's an example of your mind being a slave to your body, but sometimes, your body gotta be controlled by your mind instead. So redefining yourself, you must redefine your new character that's able and capable of achieving the new things that you want. Like, is this new character, doesn't give up easily, confident, not insecure, persevere until the very end? Is that new character more hardworking? Are you too afraid of making mistakes? Are you too afraid of being judged and being discouraged by other people's opinions? Can you learn to socialize with people whenever you need to? Who is this new character that you're trying to become and you're evolving to, that you can become whoever you want to be? And this is how you redefine your new character and slowly become that new character. So you must have a clear vision of where you want to go, otherwise you'll be pulled into someone else's vision. And that's why it's very important to have a vision board. That we're gonna go through this on a different module. So you must learn to become a new self of your character in order to reach your desired outcome, which you've never done before. To achieve something you've never done before, you can't be the same person, You need to be a totally different person capable of achieving that thing. And mind over body and matter, not body over mind. Your mind is the master that can make your body and character do whatever it wants. Like you're the puppet master of your own body and life. And ask yourself, how does this new character of you think, talk, behave in order to achieve your dream goal? You can see over here, who you were in the past is irrelevant to who you are becoming, because with new daily belief, action, feedback, and time, you can become whoever you want to be. You take action, experience a future you, get feedback to your current you, and slowly your current you would transform to your future you. In your past or current state is irrelevant to your dream state, because to reiterate again, with your new daily belief, action, feedback, and with time, you're gonna achieve your dream state, goal, and outcome. This is your current state. You think and act like your future self, you take action, and with time, your current state will become your dream state. With feedback, your current state will keep getting closer and closer to your dream state. And every time you grow in your personal and business life, you feel massive discomfort, as if you can't recognize who you are anymore, and that's a positive sign, because you're acclimatizing yourself to your new belief, rituals, habits, and actions. And that's why Tony Robbins has a quote called, all growth starts at the end of your comfort zone. So when you're doing things that's new, unfamiliar, you feel uncomfortable, like oh, this is so hard, that's a good thing, because you're pushing yourself outside your comfort zone, and that's where growth happens. So we covered a lot in this module, and we'll have more modules that might go into each specific topic and have action items and stuff. And you can rewatch this module as well, over and over again. And I want you to post in the discussion tab in the Facebook group community or the community portal, what have you learned today that you can apply to your personal and business life? It's good that you watch this and stuff, but most importantly is, what do you remember, and what's the 1, 2, 3 action items that you take away from this? So post in the group what you've learned, and I'll talk to you in the next video.